remember Original Fake by Kaws. The relationship between art and commerce has always been a contentious one. Purists have always warned about the consequences of muddying art with economics. But why? For some people like Kaws and many of the modern mainstream artists, this notion has been discarded. But not only did Kaws discard it, he's become insanely rich and popular off of his work. And some of this work came through the brand Original Fake. OF was pretty big for a time and was among the more known streetwear brands in the genre, and one of the most sought after for collaborations. But over the years, I haven't seen much from them. Have you? Why is that? Let's find out. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and this is the rise and fall of Original Fake. But before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to help us to continue to grow as a channel. And as I always say, we can't do it without you guys' help. But with that being said, let's jump right in. According to Takashi Murakami's super flat theory, as the distinction between social class and mainstream interests, quote, flatten, a culture is produced with little distinction between high and low. And while this notion may go against the fundamental values of art, there exist a number of artists who work to break traditional perceptions of art by emphasizing its relationship with product and the marketplace. And to understand the origins of Original Fake, we need to understand Kaws himself. The artist made a name for himself in the early 90s following a massive boom in consumerism that resulted from a growing middle class. In response to this ceaseless commodification, Kaws got to work on the streets of New York City supplementing advertisements with signature characters. Kaws' attitude to art would become pivotal in his involvement in streetwear. He frequently released art as a purchasable product and often transformed pop culture icons like SpongeBob or Mickey Mouse into his own creations by adding a signature X motif to each character's eyes. These characters would become some of Kaws' most lauded designs, with plastic figurines and plush dolls becoming the cornerstone of the artist's product line. After being approached by Japanese brand Bounty Hunter in 1999, Kaws produced his first vinyl figurines for the streetwear cult label. The popularity of the first Bounty Hunter series catalyzed the relationship between Kaws and other players in the Japanese streetwear scene. Perhaps the most pivotal of these relationships was with Medicom Toy, the celebrated toy and collectible company responsible for the Kubrick and Bear Brick series. This partnership, seemingly insignificant at the time, eventually laid the groundwork for what would eventually become Original Fakes. In 2005, Kaws was approached by Wonderwall, the Japanese interior design firm behind many of Obey the Ape's storefronts, with the proposal to design his own outlet in Tokyo. And while he was thrilled with the idea of designing a shop, Kaws knew that if he were to do it, it needed to be selling his own products. The designs by Kaws and manufacturing provided by Medicom Toys, Original Fake was born in 2006. With streetwear becoming more prominent in the mid-2000s, counterfeits were everywhere, and in response, Original Fake's first release was a replica of Kaws' original Bear Brick figure for Medicom Toy. Other collections featured original Kaws artwork which bridged art with commodification. The result was some of the most original graphic tees on the market at the time. Original Fake t-shirts boasted high-quality screen-printed graphics reminiscent of streetwear OGs Bape and Good Enough. Having worked previously with Bape's Nego on the packaging for the Kempson's products and collaborated with Bounty Hunter on a series of figurines, Kaws was already well versed in the world of streetwear. Some of his most popular collaborative tees included Kaws-style renditions of popular characters. And while interpretations of Astro Boy and Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man were a huge success, Original Fake hit its stride with Kaws' immersive archive of original imagery. Original Fake will always be remembered for its graphic tees, but the brand's real bread and butter came from its cut and sew offerings. OF was able to offer garments with quality comparable to top-tier streetwear brands, and the team's geometric design approach allowed for a fresh new feel, something not seen so much in the world of streetwear at the time. One could also argue that Original Fakes was a pioneer in bridging the gap between streetwear and traditional menswear. Every piece of clothing, whether it a t-shirt or a field jacket, was well thought out, and the garments didn't even need someone to model them. Kaws would oftenly style his lookbooks only so that the pieces were present. And while that might seem amateurish, Kaws' clothing was dynamic enough to appeal on its own. Considering Kaws' extensive list of collaborators, it's really no surprise that Original Fakes collabs were some of the most sought after in the industry. And at the top of the list is OF's 10th anniversary t-shirt for Supreme Tokyo store, featuring Kate Moss and Kaws' Bendy. The shirt recalled the artist's OG days of commercial vandalism. The two brands would get together again in 2011 to reinterpret Supreme's logo in the Kaws signature pop art style. And while the Supreme collaboration was probably the most well known, Original Fake mostly worked with long-term collaborators from Tokyo's Harajuku scene, including Bape, Neighborhood, and Fragment Design. But sadly, in 2013, Original Fake would shut down its retail store and end the brand for good. In a statement, they wrote, "Original Fake is closing the brand and store today on May 31st, 2013. Thank you very much for your continuous support to Original Fakes in the past 7 years, and all of the staff deeply appreciates your support from the bottom of our hearts." End quote. Kaws would actually shut down Original Fake the same year Nigo decided to leave Bape. The timing, though, was actually perfect. Nigo became creative director of Unique Low's UT t-shirt line, giving Kaws an opportunity to design for a bigger audience. Nigo asked his friend if he was interested in producing a small capsule collection, and starting in 2016, Kaws started designing regular collections for the fast fashion brand each year, with drops selling out in minutes. Since Kaws' relationship with Unique Low began, the value of the secondary market for Original Fakes has unfortunately dropped dramatically. Even if Original Fake is only a memory, the brand helped pioneer a movement that ate away at the distinction between high and low culture. And at the end of the day, OF, I think, was there for a good time, not really a long time. As an artist, we often have fleeting interests, or perhaps it would be better to say, inspiration strikes in weird ways. One minute you're all in on one project, and the next, a new idea pops up and you're off to the next endeavor. And for the time that OF was on top, they were one of the cooler brands in my opinion. And although I said in the beginning that Kaws had no problem commoditizing art, I'd never say that he sold out. I mean, literally. He pumped OF as long as the creative juices were flowing for it, and once they dried up, he ended it. He didn't sell it off to some large investment firm so that the suits in the front office could whore it out and ruin the brand's legacy. When it was done, he took it out back and he shot it in the head, as if it were an injured friend that was being set upon by a horde of mindless zombies. And to me, that's based as fuck. But what do you think? Hit us up in the comment section and let us know how you feel about OF and the legacy of Original Fakes. And also, if you haven't by now, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As I said before, liking the video helps us tremendously to grow as a channel, and we really can't do it without you guys' help. Also, if you want to be updated every time we drop a new video just like this one, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you will be reminded whenever we drop a new episode. But with that being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, peace.